bizde hepsi fix.
I can't believe this. Oh.
It's middle of November 2021. I'm by the mountain landscape in Turkey, what is called Cappadocia, what I leave after a night in the rain.
Like a fish. Really wet.
It is now time to hitchhike, with a lawyer. Realize that autumn has come, then with Jilmus, who invites me to his home. He lives where a wild camper normally doesn't want to be. All buildings are the same, but for my wet sleeping bag, this comes in handy. The day begins with the farmer Mesut, who first invites me to breakfast at his home, where I greet the little puppies that will one day be very big. It is the well-known Kangal breed. He breeds them. This is why there are so many cute dogs. He brings me back to the street.
Just got invited again for a tea, and I didn't even start to hitchhike from the position where I went out. Yeah, but Jonathan.
Because a big farmer from the village named Hüseyin invites me to coffee and chocolate.
Medium small yok. Bizde hepsi fix.
So yeah, it's all fixed.
Okay,
so
yeah.
they do not have the other side.
Cappuccino, latte, americano,
Okay, yeah.
sütlü americano.
Latte.
From there, with two art teachers, 2 kilometers further.
Servus.
And from there to Shivas,
Servus.
where I meet a little story. Turan, the boss of the LPG company, who maintain and install the gas terminal bath for the road maintenance department, take me with them. I'm also provided with a drink and chocolate. My business trip continues into the mountains. One more kebab before we get to 2000 meters, where the time of year is visual. First stop, just a short tour that I will come to immediately, because first we marvel at the view of the 3000 meter high mountains and deal with the climate change. It's quite cold here, I can tell you. The tour consists of a tour of the gas central heating system.
Yeah.
Its pipe laying and
Yeah.
the pleasure of large machines. The kitchen and sideline activities. We go out, we drive to the next job where a pressure reducer has to be replaced. We leave Hussein alone and I am taken to the next bus station. Dropped off with money and chai, I'm now sitting here. I'm supposed to wait for the bus who will depart at 2 AM and take me to the Georgian border. But
Take a bus and just jump and drive so far. Also, I could have this with the hitchhiking, but yeah, no, I don't want to spend the money, even if it was supposed to be for this. But also, I like the mountains. I know it's freezing cold here, but I just want to. So I go now in the mountains and find a sleeping place for tonight, and then sleep here, and tomorrow continue with hitchhiking. It was quite cold, but it's like not impossible to sleep, so it was actually nice. And yeah, there were no tree here, so it would be bad if it had rained in the night, but it was a good night. It's still the big mountains and the sun is up there. So cool. But for me it's time to go back on the road and go hitchhiking.
suddenly we stop. The reason are hazelnuts, which serve as companions on the journey and afterwards. Already quite wintry, and somehow I like this. then it goes with others, and the one who declares me for crazy. The third ride is Irma and Ibrahim, 2 students on the way to their exams. Of course, they have time for a tea before. As usual, I first walk out of the town of Gümüşhane and marvel at the block of flats, which all looks the same. Only the color design allows you to find your way around. As a hitchhiker, you are a bit different in this world, because I come to places where normally only are different working groups. Through the first tunnel, through the second tunnel, the vehicles sound like rockets on a runway. I'm happy to see that I'm not alone turning against the current. Ayjan, a student, takes me next with the words Inshallah. Guest is like God. He invites me to his home, where a warm shower is waiting for me, and after my cleaning I continue with Köfte. And not to forget chai and salty sunflower seeds. A real bed is pure luxury. Good night. Ayjan has his second exam day today, which is why he goes early. With breakfast and tea provided, he buys me a ticket for the next city and I sit in the bus, where I notice that hitchhiking is much more pleasant.
I said I actually like to hitchhike, and this makes more fun than taking a bus, because it's just in transportation and not the joy of the ride.
It is 21 degrees Celsius on this day that ends after 2 more short trips. My night at the sea and the morning rumble of the fish boat engine starts unexpectedly, because this day is very emotional. Then I might get a ride too fast.
I lost my microphones by the last hitchhiking opportunity, and so now I take a taxi to come back to this point and hope that it will be there, because it's like for $400 worth or 5 euros. That would be really... Oh, I hope it's still there. Oh, I'm so lucky. Oh shit. Oh. I got the back. Oh shit, man.
I think I have difficulties to forgive my mistakes, but this went really good. I lost only $15 instead of 460. Now I have to hitchhike the same route again. I come to the village of where I go online, in a coffee shop, with a view of the sea.
I actually have not done what I wanted to do, because I want to do the registration by the online registration for Georgia, but I think I used all the internet. It's not in best limit, like unlimited internet connection. But anyway, now I will see if I find other internet connection so I can register it myself.
Where are you coming from?
From Germany.
Germany.
It goes on with Metin, who's on the way to the border. He invites me to a typical bean dish, Kurufalle. Kurufalle? I don't know how to pronounce it. And sütlak, a kind of rice pudding. Then it goes to the border. Since I still have to wait for my corona test results, it only continues the next morning. At night, it gets very stormy. Which is why I dismantle my sleeping place and register for Georgia on an open wireless internet connection, and then off we go. As stormy as it began, it will continue. Past the trucks orientated in the border building and the relief without problem through the border. I watch a waterfall where I get an apple for free. Before I manage to eat it, 2 Azerbaijanis who go to Tbilisi stop, and since my workaway job has given me a half cancellation due to illness, I change my plans. In Georgia, you drive by feeling. We eat mandarins from the backseat, and the 2 of them smoke one after the other. After 6 hours I arrive in Tbilisi. Fortunately, a friend of mine is there in Erasmus Plus, who I contact to stay overnight until I have cleared my workaway position. I also have to do a corona test, as these are the current rules of Georgia's border. Will I find a suitable place for the winter time? This is another story. What you can see if you subscribe, and if you liked this video, leave me a like. If you want to see what I did also in Turkey, you should press on this link up here to the right. Let's go to the takeoff.
What a start in the day.
But at least Kuro Faule, Falle, Hallo, Wulu.